Hello YouTube, welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to be teaching you how to make a typewriter effect. So let's get started. Head on to Starter GUI and create a screen GUI. And then go inside the screen GUI and create a text label. Now you take your text label and let's style it a little bit. Okay, so once you're done styling your text label, create a local script inside of that text label. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do local text equals hello world, and we're going to be setting the text continually. So see this text right here, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going L A B E L. So that's what we're going to be making work via script. So let's leave that there, and so let's see what happens when you just set the text. So if you do local text label equals script.parent, this text label refers to the parent of the script, which is that. It's the script, and to find the parent, you just look up. That's the parent. So if you do text label dot text equals text, then it will set the text to hello. So if you play the game, hello world. So that's not what you want. What you want is HELLOWRL. Slowly come up. So to do that, we need to use a for loop. And we also need to understand something called string or string sub. I don't think that's string sub. It's called string sub. So let me explain how string sub. So print text sub 1 1. So what this does is it takes your text and it gets the first index. So it gets the H. It starts with the first number, which is the first thing in the text, which is 1, and it ends with the first thing, which is also the first thing. If you set this to text sub 1 1, it'll get the H. Because H is the first letter in text. So as you can see, it's like H here. Now, that's cool, but what happens if we do 2? So what this will do is it will start with 1, which is the first index, which is the first letter, and it ends at 2. So basically what we're doing is we're segmenting the string, starting with H, ending with the E. H is the first one, E is the second. So that will make it say HE. So if you do 1, 3, that will start with H and end with the third index. So 1, 2, 3, that will just say HEL. Like that. Set this to 4, it will say HELL. Set it to 5, it will say hello. So starting with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just segmenting the string, taking a part of the string. So that will give hello. Hello goes from 1, H is from 1, 5 is equal. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, taking that. Taking the string, we're chopping it. That will. Okay, so now that we understand the string substitution, what is the thing? Okay, now we understand how to substitute. We can do this. For I equals 1, text, number of text, 2, and then, so if you remember, this number is the first. This number is where you're starting the segmenting process. So this number is where you're ending. So if you're doing text sub 1.5, starting with the H, since it's the first letter, 5 to the end. So you're doing H, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're getting hello. And just as we did before, we set this to I. Remember that I is just a number. It starts at 1 and ends at the length of the text. So during the first iteration, I will be set to H, or no, I will be set to 1. So this will say text substring 1, 1, which is the first one. Then I will be set to 2. It will say HE. I set to 2, so it will go 1, 2. It will say HE. Then I will be set to 3. Then 4, then 5, 8, 6, 7, 8, then 9, 10, then 11. And then it will stop. That is the theory behind typewriter. So if you do a wait, you actually see this. All we're doing is doing this, and all we have to do now is just set the text. Instead of text label that text equals text, label. Okay? like 5 years down the road, if you write this code, all you have to do is change its text level. There you go. Hello, YouTube. What if you want this to display fast? Well, just set this value to a small, 0. And let's wrap this into a while loop. So this will actually run continuously. Infinitely. Now, number 12. So that's how you do it. That's the typewriter effect. And you can actually, if you configured the text label properties correctly, if you set text wrap to true, no matter how many words you have, you can see it doesn't end at the first line. It's going to wrap to the bottom. Now there is a limit. You can't have like 1,000,000 characters in here, but you can resize this. You can have more. So you can write like a whole paragraph here and just display one by one. So for example, now as long as you have this text wrap set to true, you'll be able to do that. If you don't, here's what will happen. If you have some string here, if you have hello, and you just have a bajillion hellos, it'll see how it cuts off. That's probably not what you want for your game, so you want to set text wrap to true, so it'll wrap. So, for example, for your game, you can say, let's say you watched my how to make a cutscene video, and you wanted some credits. Say, thanks to the following people for helping me with this awesome game. Person 1, person 2, person 3. So, if you watched my cutscene video, if you haven't, I'll put it in the top right. And if you watched it, you can just put whatever text you want. So, it'll play your cutscene. And if you also watched my how to make a game intro video, you can combine those two things. And you combine this one to make a credit screen. So you can make, so that's how that'll work. Thanks to the following people helping me with this awesome thing. And just name the people that helped. So that is how you make a typewriter effect. Now, before I end this video, I'm going to show you what it's going to look like with a lot of text. I'm going to get some lorem ipsum text. Alright, so I got my lorem ipsum text, which is basically just some Latin example text to show, just demonstrate. And looks pretty cool. As long as you guys choose the right font, the right colors, and you have a nice background. I don't even have a background. That's how you make it. And it's all just, it all has to do with the text substring that we were doing. Just segmenting the text into parts. Starting at 1, start at 1, I set to 1, start at 1, I set to 2, I set to 3, 4, 5, and just keep on going. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. I will see you in the next video.